Robert Kiyosaki was born in Hilo, Hawaii in 1947. When he was 9 years old, he attended a public school where he saw that the children of wealthy parents had more expensive toys and bikes than he did. This made him curious about how to become wealthy, so he asked his father, a well-educated man, how to become rich. However, his father did not have a good answer for him, as he was not wealthy himself, and simply told Robert to stay in school and get good grades so he could get a secure job. Robert had a friend named Mike whose father, referred to as Rich Dad, began mentoring Robert and Mike about how to become wealthy. At the time, Rich Dad was not yet wealthy, but he eventually became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. Rich Dad taught Robert and Mike about the importance of understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Rich people focus on acquiring assets that generate passive income, such as businesses, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and real estate, rather than relying solely on income from their job. On the other hand, poor people tend to have expenses that equal their income and have more liabilities than assets, leading to financial struggles. Rich Dad also taught Robert and Mike about the importance of financial education and the role of taxes in building wealth. Robert's father, referred to as Poor Dad, was not poor at the time, but his financial situation eventually declined. Poor Dad earned a good income from his job, but his expenses always seemed to keep up with his income, preventing him from investing in assets. As a result, his liabilities, such as mortgages and credit card debts, grew over time. This is known as the income equals expense pattern, where assets are less than liabilities. This pattern ultimately led to debt for Poor Dad, even after he passed away. On the other hand, the Rich Dad's personal financial statement reflected the result of a life dedicated to investing and minimizing liabilities. He had greater income than his expenses because his assets were greater than his liabilities. This is known as the income greater than expense pattern and is why the rich are able to build and maintain wealth over time. Rich Dad also taught Robert and Mike about the concept of financial intelligence, which goes beyond just understanding numbers and includes the ability to understand how money works and how to use it to your advantage. He emphasized the importance of taking calculated risks, as well as the role of entrepreneurship and creating multiple streams of income. In addition, Rich Dad taught Robert and Mike about the power of leverage or using other people's money and resources to create wealth. He also stressed the importance of being able to adapt and change with the times, as the world is constantly evolving and those who are able to adapt will be more successful in the long run. Overall, the lessons that Rich Dad taught Robert and Mike about building wealth centered around acquiring assets, minimizing liabilities, obtaining financial education, and being adaptable and entrepreneurial. These principles have been outlined in Robert Kiyosaki's best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which has been translated into multiple languages and has helped people around the world learn how to build wealth.